After its debut as weightlifting in the Tokyo 1964 Paralympic Games, the sport, now known as powerlifting, expanded from just male lifters with a spinal cord injury to include athletes with physical impairments that affect their lower limbs or hips, or athletes with short stature. Female powerlifters made their Paralympic debut in 2000. Powerlifting is the ultimate test of upper body strength, and you'll often see athletes lifting more than 3 times their own body weight. Powerlifters are split into 10 different categories based on body weight for each gender. Powerlifting consists of one discipline, a bench press. Unlike the able-bodied sport where athletes use their feet on the floor to assist the bench press, Paralympic athletes lie totally flat on a completely different style of bench. Each competitor has 2 minutes to complete their attempt. When the lifter has the bar under full control, they must wait until they receive the command, start. Start! Then they have to lower the bar in a controlled manner and definitively stop it on the chest. Next, they press it upwards, lock out both elbows simultaneously and hold the bar under control until the referee's command to wrap. At least 2 white lights are required from 3 referees for a good lift. A red light indicates a bad lift. Athletes have 3 attempts, and the winner is the athlete that lifts the heaviest weight. In the 3rd round, 2 weight changes are permitted. The weight change can be higher or lower. No changes are allowed if the lifter has already been called to the platform by the speaker, and or if the bar has already been loaded. To attempt a new record, it must exceed the previous one set by a minimum of 0.5 kilograms. Where a world record is broken during the actual 3 lifts of competition, the 0.5 kilograms does not count towards the competition total, but is rounded down to the full kilogram. The jury may allow a 4th attempt for a world record. This adds suspense to the competition, as a lifter could break the world record but may not win gold. Powerlifting offers a tense and dramatic spectacle where coaches have to be good strategists as their athletes battle to outlift their rivals.
So we're heading for the first women's event then of the week at this 11th FASA Dubai Paralifting World Cup. Dubai 2021. In the Club for Athletes of Determination. This is the women's 45 kg event, then a break after this of 2.5 hours. Women's 41 kg, women's 67 kg will follow in the afternoon. Dubai time. $1500 local. 1300 CET, 1100 GMT, 11 o'clock GMT in terms of the various times. Other time zones, you can work it out yourself. Venezuela always really well represented. Oriana Turan are going for them. There are 6 athletes in this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the technical officials for this session are the chief referee from Russia,
world record from Gu Ling, 118 kilos, set at the World Championships in Nur Sultan 2 years ago. So 6 in this, in the battle for the medals, and whisper it quietly, Tokyo as well. Where 80 kilos is the target. Alessa Baruk of Russia, Nikolaos Kazantsis of Greece, and Jari Lain of Finland are our referees.
From Bahrain, Nader Salah, and from Libya, Fathi Lashab.
So worth keeping an eye out. The target is 80 kilos, by the way. That's the cutoff point. That's 8th place at the moment for Elina Solodikina of Kazakhstan in terms of who qualifies for the Paralympic Games final. The countdown's on for the first women's competition of the week. Miwa Naruki of Japan, who is aiming for 56 kilos and who is not currently on the Paralympics board, but it takes 80 at the moment to get on. I can tell you, by the way, 4 of the 6 competing in this are not currently in the top 8. It could be really hectic. From Inashiki in Japan, 7th in the Asian Games 3 years ago, no mark. So bombed out in the Asia Oceania Championships in Kitakyushu. Coached by Takeyoshi Okamoto, and as we always point out, their regular coach may not be the person who's on stage with them. For a wheelchair basketballer, her club is the Powerhouse Tsukuba. 16th at the World Championships in Nur Sultan, which was her first global games. But obviously, getting to the Paralympic Games is a higher target. 56 for Naruki for Japan. And Naruki at 56, she got it up. But a strikeout. All 3 against. So at various championships, you'll also be starting to see the reasons from a referee by referee basis. This being a World Cup that's not open just yet. Press sequence looked a little wobbly. Didn't look like the bar was pressed upwards equally from this uneducated angle. So now for Venezuela, the former junior world champion Oriana Turan. Feels like she's been around a long time, but her first senior world championships was only in Nur Sultan. She was 12th in that. Her junior world title coming in Mexico City 2017. The Americas bronze medalist in Bogota. She won the junior gold in that. She's still eligible for junior less than 2.5 years ago. So Oriana Turan is currently in 10th place in the race for Tokyo, having lifted 70, this for 73. And I say it feels like she's been around forever. She's 22 years old. Her career could last another 22. This for the lead. This starting a run of 4 lifts that are really closely bunched together between 73 and 80 kg. Then it really heightens for a last lifter of this round. We'll worry about that when we reach her. .73 for Oriana Turan. And a strikeout. So all 3 referees saying no. Something to be straightened out. Good consistent lifter, good performer. America's bronze, all those junior titles. She's been the Youth Pan Am champion in 2017 as well. So this is where the race for Tokyo heats up a little bit. It's Yazli Noor Aini Mohammed, 4th in the Asian Games in 2018. She's aiming for 75. Her best of the ranking season, which I'm pretty sure stretches back just about 2 years, is 65 kg. This to leap above Oriana Turan. This to go 10th in the Paralympic rankings. And this obviously to take the lead here. And it's just a Group A. We have 6 lifters. And this for 75 for Yazli Noor Aini Mohammed. She was spotted training in a gym by the powerlifter Kalai Vanen, and he said, "You could be good at this sport." That was just ahead of the Asian Para Games, where she finished 4th. Wasn't able to keep that run going here, though. That's a strikeout, and all 3 lifts so far have been so. High standards expected this morning. Actually, it was a nice crowd this morning, frankly. As we head towards noon, only a few minutes away, Dubai time.
The ball is loaded for the first attempt, representing Kazakhstan, Gulim Kurmanbayeva.
So now for Kazakhstan, Gulim Kurmanbayeva. Her only major championship to date, finishing 11th in the Worlds back home in Nur Sultan. Lives in Oktober with the RIDK Sports Club. Sergei Bedyushkin, her coach. And locally, they're spelling Kazakhstan with Q's these days. So 80 her target. She's not currently on the list. This would bring a level, bang on 8 spot with Solodikina of Kazakhstan, who lifts next, but whose body weight is slightly lighter. So this would put a knife in the road to Tokyo and put her into the gold medal position here. 80 kg. Another strikeout. We've had 12 referee votes so far, and they've all been red. And as Kurmanbayeva saying red, if any of those lifts had been successful, then it would shake up the Tokyo target on the top 8 a little bit. And this is the woman coming up next who is in 8th space in that. Elena Solodikina of Kazakhstan, the Asian Games bronze medalist. The woman who knocked Yazli down into 4th in those Asian Games. Solodikina aiming at 80. And that is the mark that has her in 8th place in the race for Tokyo. And she'll have to up it, I think, considering who we're going to see next. At the moment, the bottom 2 places, Solodikina and Samira Gurua of Algeria, who's not competing in this. they are the ones most at risk of missing out. The 8 automatic places. 8 places, all that we have in the Paralympic finals. Remember the first time I worked at the World Championships in this venue, a couple of the finals went to a Group D. Almost 40 lifting in it. Now how's that for you, Solidakina? There you go, 2-1 in her favour. And that is the lead. That matches her best of the campaign. Copper fastens her in 8th place and puts her into the gold medal mark. And finally, a couple of the lights turn white for Solidakina. Personal coach is Arta Timitsky. Again, not necessarily the person who's on stage with them, though a lot of the time it is. That's a career coach, if you like. So, we have a leader, Alina Solidakina of Kazakhstan, heading towards the end of this opening round. Now, what a leap. We go up to 97, and a woman who's not currently on the leaders' table for the Paralympics ranking at all, and it's the world champion at the last 2 Worlds in Mexico City and Nur Sultan, Cui Zhu, the reigning Asian Games champion at the last 2 Asian Games, the former Asian champion of 2015, silver in the Asia Oceania Championships 3 years ago in Kitakyushu. 3 Paralympic Games she's been at, it's been silver each time. Finished behind the brilliant Nazmir Muratli of Turkey in the 41 kg final in Rio at the Rio Centro. 97 kg. This would put her 6th immediately and knock Solidakina out of the top 8 and effectively for now knock her out of the Paralympics final. Well, we'll see. 97 kg. Is that clean? It is! 2 out of the 3 going her way. She leads. She's in the gold medal position by a long way. And suddenly, Cui Zhu is up into 6th in the race for Tokyo with 8 places being taken. Just like that. And she can go heavier. World record's 118. And that's what Guo Ling has lifted. Only 2 good lifts out of the 6 of the opening round. Cui Zhu in the gold medal position for China and Alina Solidakina for Kazakhstan in the silver.
Representing Japan, Miwa Naruki.
Cui Zhu breaking. The 41 kilo world record and winning gold in Nur Sultan. That was 104.5. Guo Lingling's world record. The same day, 118 in this. Miwa Naruki for Japan. Missed out on 56 first time. Going for it again. Well, again, this would put her on the list, but down a bit. Solidakina has been knocked out of the top 8 in the Paralympics ranking. Certainly there'll be some athletes who'd be considering the Paralympic rankings even more important than the medals here this week. Spotting a place on the bar and looking to clear 56 for the second time. But will this one be successful? I think the press sequence didn't go according to plan, and that is a strikeout, the 3 red lights. That's the phraseology that you'll be getting used to during the Paralympic Games. Introduced in time for it. The white out, the 3 white lights, the strikeout, the 3 red lights, if you weren't with us for the earlier men's competition. Terán for Venezuela, 73 in the opening round, going for 73 again now. And this would add 3 onto our best lift of the season. 80 has to be a target. Well, it was going into it. 82 is the target now for Samira Guerrero. Terán at 73. Well, she got it lifted, but not cleanly for them. And it is a strikeout against her, a second strikeout, and in danger of bombing out. One more lift to go. She's determined. And where does she go from here? So the target was obviously to get 73 in the opening round, and then you're looking high 70s and over 80 really for the last round, and the pressure's been put on by the emergence now in the rankings table of Chui Zhu. She's not the only one who could leap in. Back in for Singapore, Yasli Aini Mohammed. 75 she missed out in the opening round, but she has her targets too. She has to eventually aim for 82 at least, which means having missed 75, irrespective of that, she's going for 78 now. She's lifted 65 this season. .78. Big lift, big moment. This to get her into the bronze medal position, and she's got up there. A whiteout for Mohammed for Singapore. He improves her season's best for the past couple of years by 13 kilos. She jumps above Oriana Terán in that. She's now 11th in the Paralympic rankings.
The bar is loaded for her second attempt representing Kazakhstan, Kurmanbayeva.
Kurmanbayeva had started on 80. And gunning for 80 again here. Ninth in the Paralympic rankings.
Good lift.
She's got it! A whiteout goes into the bronze medal position.
The bar is loaded for her second attempt representing Kazakhstan, Alina Solodokina.
Well, that puts her alongside Solodokina into joint ninth in terms of the Paralympic rankings. And here comes Solodokina now, aiming for 83. Currently in the silver medal position. This to get her back into the top 8 in terms of the Paralympic rankings. It's an important one. So a major moment in her race to get to Tokyo. Big chance of a medal for this Dubai World Cup too, but it's a strikeout. So Solodokina, who started the morning in 8th in the Paralympic rankings, back down to 9th again and staying there. That lift would have put her 8th above Samira Guerrero of Algeria, who's not competing here. Now the extra weights are going on. We're joining Cui Zhu, 102 her target. This would put her 4th in the Paralympic rankings. It would lift her above Justyna Kostek of Poland. Come to think of it, she's not here either. Good, successful few weeks in Poland again for herself. And they had that really good European Para-Athletics Championships in Bydgoszcz. Poland won lots of titles in that. They're one of the best European Para-Athletics nations, and in powerlifting too. China, one of the best, full stop, everywhere. Cui Zhu going for 102. World champion at 41 kg, back up to 45. Now, how competitive can she be in Tokyo? She's really competitive here. Oh boy, she's really competitive here. A whiteout, 102. She's well in front. The gold medals on the way to being hers, and she's up to 4th now in the rankings. And remember, China already have a representative right at the top in the form of Gao Ling, so one athlete per category, per country. It's interesting she's shown up in 45 kg, but 102, there she is. She's leading, she's in the gold medal position. She's got the 4th highest tally in the rankings, but she's the 2nd Chinese, which opens the door for Solodakina, just so long as no one else from Kazakhstan overtakes her. And hey, there's someone else from Kazakhstan in this. Look at that situation in a few moments. Here's Miwa Naruki of Japan. 2 misses at 56 going here. A 3rd attempt is at 60. She runs the Cafe Bakori with her husband in Inishiki. Which is right down in the east. It's up the coast a little bit from Yokohama. So, 2 misses at 56, gunning for 60 here. Her last attempt. She's struck out twice. If it happens again, she's bombing out. The new term for 3, no lifts. Now, we don't want to see that happening. Miwa Naruki. That's a struggle now. She got her raised. But it's not good enough. It's not clean enough. Don't think the bar moved down a bit, but it was just a bit too ragged. So that's it. She has bombed out. No mark, I'm afraid, for Miwa Naruki. Hard luck.
The bar is loaded for the 3rd and last attempt to make a good lift for the Venezuelan Oriana Terán. Big applause to Oriana Terán. All the best for her last.
Oriana Terán then, her final attempt, and same story. She's missed out with the first 2 lifts, struck out both times. 3rd and final attempt at 73, the same mark. Again, she's up for it. Can she keep it clean this time? Doesn't need a whiteout. 2-1 in her favour is fine. Well concentrated. This is it. Got it raised, got it up quickly. Did she get it up cleanly? No. Struck out. She's bombed out. No mark. It's happened to Turan, it's happened to Naruki. So Naruki and Turan leave this particular competition with both having bombed out. Yasli Nur Aini Mohammed cleared 78 in the previous round, so this is for 81. And the current situation with China unable to send 2 athletes in, this would put her on 81 kg. It would put her 9th on the table, but you take one of the 2 Chinese lifters away, that would be 8th place above Solidakina, who cleared 80, but not anything higher than that today and previously in the rankings season. '81. She knows that's the precise target for her to get her into the top 8. She's got it. A whiteout. And a whiteout's the best thing. And it puts her into the bronze medal position. It actually puts her into the silver medal position. Above the Kazakh duo of Solidakina and Kurmanbayeva. Now it's getting congested up there.
The bar is loaded for last attempt from Kazakhstan, Alina Solodukina.
9th in the Paralympic rankings, Mohammed is now, but that's 8th. Taking one of the Chinese away. She might not be there for long. Kazakhstan have 2 lifters who are determined to get to Tokyo. And again, like China, they can't send 2 lifters. They can only send 1 per weight division. So whoever lifts the heaviest out of this, if these 2 are good, the heaviest lift sends 1 of these through. Solidakina for 83, her best during the ranking seasons, 80. Solidakina missed 83 last time. If she gets this, she's back in the top 8 again for Tokyo. Unless Kurmanbayeva then does the same with her next lift. Is that good enough? It is not. She has struck out for the 2nd time. She stays on 80. So Solidakina and Kurmanbayeva both lifting 80. In terms of the medals here, Solidakina is ahead in the head-to-head. She's in 3rd. Kurmanbayeva's 4th in terms of body weight. It's also the same situation for the Paralympic ranking. But Solidakina is 10th overall and 9th when you factor out the double from the one nationality, which is currently China. So Solidakina, at the moment, is missing out on Tokyo. What about Gulim Kurmanbayeva? She's only competed in one World Championship before her eyes then, having finished 11th. It's not very far away from the top 8 in the world, so Tokyo 2020 would have been a target. Tokyo 2020 not happening in 2020. Like everyone, she's had to push the calendar another year. This for 85, and this will get her in the top 8 in the Paralympic rankings. And it will put her there in 8th, overall 7th, taking China's second representative away. Big lift. If she gets this, it's the silver medal for sure, and it is surely Tokyo for sure. Yes! She's got it! She's got the silver medal, and surely with that whiteout, she's got the ticket to Tokyo as well. Went up the sufficient amount. That's it. Down, up. Looks so simple. She got herself onto the board. She got herself onto the ranking board as well. She has won the silver medal here, Kurmanbayeva, which is a fantastic result. I think that's the best she's ever done in a World Cup. And we wrap up with China's Cui Zhu. Kurmanbayeva had won at the Manchester World Cup last year, bronze in the equivalent this year. And aiming for 105, our champion this week in the women's 45 kg category, Cui Zhu. Aiming for 105. Having already succeeded at 102. It'll rank her 4th. And she's got it. $105. She wins the gold medal in this Dubai Faza World Cup. 3 for 3. She got every single lift. She wins the gold. Ranks her 4th in the world in the Paralympic rankings. She is the second Chinese lifter. 2-1-1 go. But if Guo Lingling doesn't go, then she will. Oriana Taran and Miwa Naruki, unfortunately, both bombed out. Gold to Cui Zhu for China, silver for Gulim Kurmanbayeva of Kazakhstan, and bronze for Yazli Nur Aini Mohammed of Singapore.
Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for attending the first 2 events this morning. It was a wonderful
Good competition, that.
to come back.
With the added carrots as well.
Session will start at 3 p.m.
There's the qualification pathway. There was the qualification pathway.
And it will be followed by the women's up to 67 kilograms at 5:10 p.m.
A lot to study in that.
We remind you to
You can wind it back. Do it at your own leisure.
stay safe, keep your masks on your faces, and try to sanitize your hands as much as
So we're back at 3 p.m. 1500 Dubai time. That's 1300 CET, 11 o'clock GMT. It's exactly 2.5 hours time. Women's 41 kg, women's 67 kg, 2 more titles to be decided. Now, so here is the qualification pathway. So remember, China have got 2 in that, so we're going down to Solidakina in 9th, who's just edging out Hernandez in the bodyweight. Really good competitive event. And with the double bonus of that battle for Tokyo, which, this being the last World Cup event ahead of the Paralympic Games, has so much riding on it. Medals are nice, but the chance of big medals at a global audience, that's another matter. Medal ceremonies for these are coming at the end of today. So that'll be in around 6 hours' time. If everyone's still hanging around, they can nip back to their well-appointed, very local accommodation. Usually within walking distance, actually, from this venue. With such hard lines on Oriana Turan and both Miwa Naruki, and missing out on this occasion. But Mohammed has got herself on the table. And Kerman Bieva too. I'm actually going to have to look back at that graphic from a few moments ago, going through the path for Tokyo. Kuijie had made her way onto the table. Solidakina had knocked out of the top 8. Kerman Bieva is there. She is up into 8th. That is 7th, discounting the 2nd of the Chinese. Mohammed is up there in 8th. I make it. Kerman Bieva has made it as well. Quick calculation from me. Solidakina had been 8th going into this, and the leading Kazakh lifter, she's now 11th, and the second Kazakh, Yasleen Nouraini Mohammed, had gone up into 8th position, but I think she's gone down to 10th. Anyway, we're back in 2.5 hours. Catch you then.